Hey everybody, I'm back for another series of Let's Write and Record a Song, or Let's Write and Record Another Song. And in the previous series, I had an 8-part video series on writing and recording a song. And in that one, I went through the entire process for an original song. And that song was Wonderful You. And we went through the lyrics, and we went through the recording and the audio editing, and we got to a final product. I never made an actual video just of the song, but I had it in my tutorial video. I used Cubase LE5 because that's what I've got installed on my desktop with my screen recorder. I do have a dedicated music DAW with Pro Tools and newer versions of Cubase, but I was happy to use Cubase LE5. I often find myself going back to the simple, free software, and I have no problem using that. There's a very good chance that I would use that again for this series. So if you're looking for complicated recording software tutorials, then this probably wouldn't be the one. But if you are a home recording musician, starting out perhaps, using free software, or even if you are using more powerful software and you don't mind taking a step back in history and remembering the good old days of the easy to use software with some reasonable techniques. No, we're not just going to press record and leave it at that. Then maybe you can get something out of this tutorial. You just might find it interesting to see what somebody else is up to. I've got a brand new song here, and it's in very early draft. On the other hand, by the time I come to make a video like this, by the time I actually sit down and sing it for anybody, it's usually close to what I would use. Not necessarily musically, or in terms of how I play it or pick it or strum the chords, but in terms of the lyrics, it's close, but it's not finished. All right. So what I thought I would do is I'll play it through for you, and mistakes and all. All right. It's been a few days since I played this, and then we'll have a look at the lyrics, which is what I will always do. And as we progress through the videos, we'll take perhaps a more critical look at the lyrics if I don't do that in this video, and then we'll get into talking about the recording. And I'll go through and I'll record the song, and I'll multi-track whatever the song is calling for, and I'll edit the audio, and hopefully we'll get to some final product that'll sound okay. All right. For the moment, the song is called Counting on Me for the moment, and let's give it a try. All right, so no fancy recording gear for this, just the camera, and hopefully you can see my chords here. I've got the capo on 2nd fret here, and the song is in C. It's going to start with an F major 7th, and I'm just going to start playing it. Let's see if I remember how it goes. I go to work before the baby wakes. I do whatever I can. I'll do whatever it takes to keep my family alive for when the levee breaks. There ain't nobody gonna pat my back. I'll take some broken bones over a heart attack if I can keep this train rolling down the track. My banker tells me I'm a credit risk, and that my NSFs would fill a compact disc. Now my account is flagged with an asterisk. And when the curtain comes down, I don't hear any applause, but I won't be quitting because my baby's counting on me. Don't wanna play another Facebook game. Delete my profile picture and my login name. I've wasted too much time and it's a goddamn shame. My doctor says I should be using some. Gave me a nicotine patch and all that chewing gum. But I got my boxing gloves for when the devil will come. The rain is gonna come down just like it usually does. I'll come out swimming because my baby's counting on me. I'll get it under control and get us over that hill. Things will get better, they will. You're gonna like what you see. So I go to work before the baby wakes. I do whatever I can, do whatever it takes to keep my family alive for when the levee breaks. That's just the song in rough. All right, so give me a second, I'll be right back. So that was Counting on Me. I played it with a lot of damping of the strings there, and at some point in the song I would probably open it up with some more ringing chords and stuff. Didn't particularly sing it out or anything, just to give you an idea of how the song would go. And I thought maybe I'll run through a little bit of the lyrics with you and see how I feel about them. I started writing this song when I was a bit frustrated about the toughness of life. Life is tough, right? Life is good, but life can be tough. I often write from sort of personal experience. I'll cut that out. My dogs are going nuts. Yeah, my dogs are going a little bit crazy here. So, anyways, like I was saying, I often write from personal experience, but I've also done a bunch of song challenges where I've asked for people to give me lyrics, words, and I've written a song and that I have nothing to do with. In this particular case, it's kind of a personal story about struggles, and I'll go through some of that with you. So it starts off here. I've got a few verses here, and then a chorus, and then a couple more verses and a chorus. There's no bridge. There might be a bridge. Doesn't need to be. If you listen to a lot of today's music, it's the exact same chords, 3 of them, over and over again, and somehow they build a song out of that. This one's got a little bit more than that, but not much. So it goes, I go to work before the baby wakes. This is obviously because we're having a baby, and so that's why that's in there. I have an issue with this line. I'm not crazy about this. This is filler words, and I'll often do that in order to take up the right number of syllables to get the right rhythm for the song. So it's like da 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 da, right? I go to work before the baby wakes. Da 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 da. That's kind of what I wanted. So, I want my rhyme scheme to work out first of all. So I've got, and this is a bit more complicated than just A B C A or something like that. This is a rhyme there. There's a rhyme there. And then there's a rhyme there, and then we have these complicated lyrics, Okay, so I should be repeating that everywhere, and I need to make sure, this is something important, I want to make sure that I'm not using the same rhyme, breaks, and down here I have takes or makes or something. That, a lot of songs do that, but I don't like to do that. So I've got my rhyme scheme here, risk, disc, asterisk. Now, this word is a little bit similar to this, so we'll get to that when we get there. So I go to work before the baby wakes. Okay, that's, setting the mood for the song. It's obviously early morning, all right? The guy's going off to work. Everybody is still sleeping, right? So this part here, I do whatever I can. This is not something that I particularly like. I don't mind the repetition of do and do. I like that to a certain extent. I like this part. I'll do whatever it takes to rhyme with the wakes. But I'm struggling a bit over this line, so we'll see. To keep my family alive for when the levee breaks. That's obviously a Zeppelin little shout out or whatever. Okay, to keep my family alive for when the levee breaks. Obviously, we're not really waiting for a levee to break, but, you know, when all hell breaks loose type thing, right? Verse 2, there ain't nobody going to pat my back, right? No one's going to thank me. No one's going to help me. You know, I'm on my own to get through, right, to keep the family alive. So there ain't nobody going to pat my back. I'll take some broken bones over a heart attack. You know, this is getting at the idea of you know, kind of working hard, whether it's manual labor or whatever, just whatever it takes, you know, broken bones instead of a heart attack, worrying about, you know, the family and, you know, debt collectors and stuff like that, right? And then if I can keep this train rolling down the track, I like that. I like the rolling part. So we'll see how that works out. Okay. My banker tells me I'm a credit risk, and that my NSFs, right? That's insufficient funds. For those, I don't know if it's the same in the United States or overseas. My NSFs would fill a compact disc, so there have to be quite a lot of NSFs to fill a compact disc, okay? So I got my rhyming scheme going. And then the idea that my account is flagged with an asterisk, like watch out for this guy, right? We should see his name pop up. There's an asterisk beside, read more. All right, so like I had said earlier, there is risk and there is risk here, but credit risk asterisk, I think is an okay rhyme scheme, and especially because I'm separating it with that one, I think I could get away with it, and it would still sound rhythmic and would not be a problem. And then we get into the chorus, and when the curtain comes down, I don't hear any applause. So, you know, obviously I wouldn't be doing this video if I wasn't an independent artist or musician, so the connection with the curtain coming down, usually when the curtain comes down at the end of a performance, there's a wild applause, maybe even a standing ovation, but when the curtain comes down, in my case, I'm not going to get any applause, and that really gets back to there's nobody that's going to pat my back. All right, so when the curtain comes down, I don't hear any applause, but I won't be quitting because. So now this is a different rhyme scheme. Instead of risk, disc, and risk like that, there's no rhyme with down. There's no rhyme there, but the rhyme is here. Applause. Sorry, and because. I take that back. That is part of the rhyme right there. When the curtain comes down, I don't hear any applause, but I won't be quitting because my baby's counting on me. All right, so we do sort of a half chorus here, whereas later on I build it up, and instead of just repeating the exact same 4 lines, I guess here, this chorus is completely different. All right, although there are some similarities, and I'll talk about that and why I do that. Then we go on to verse 4. I don't want to play another Facebook game. Delete my profile picture and my login name. So I've got my rhyme scheme going here, and I've wasted too much time, and it's a goddamn shame. All right, and that's, you know, the internet idea and the distractions and the fact that I got to work and get through stuff and you know, wasted time. All right, because this is a working guy trying to keep the family alive, and that kind of thing. So I think that's pretty self-explanatory. This is not a deep song or anything, and it's not a complex song. It's some simple little, hopefully catchy melody, just saying what it's saying. On to verse 5. My doctor says I should be using somewhat. Well, gave me a nicotine patch and all that chewing gum. So I got some, rum, gum. Why did I say rum? What am I thinking? Some, gum, and cum. All right. My doctor says I should be using some. Gave me a nicotine patch and all that chewing gum. All right, so the sum refers to those things. I should be using a nicotine patch or chewing gum or both of them. But instead, I got my boxing gloves for when the devil will come. And, you know, obviously, you know, the devil will come when you've got some kind of vice or some kind of a habit or some issue that you have to deal with. The devil's going to come, and you better be prepared. Either be prepared with your nicotine patch, your chewing gum, but in my case, I'm saying I got the boxing gloves. I don't want any of that stuff. So we'll see how that goes in reality. But that's just something that I wanted to get in there to indicate that, not only is this guy going to work to try to, keep the family alive for when the levee breaks, broken bones, keep that train rolling. You got credit risk, you got some financial issues, NSFs and stuff like that. Nobody's applauding for that. We got a bunch of wasted time. I don't want to waste my time. I got things I got to deal with. Now we got this to deal with as well, right? All right, then we break into the last chorus. The rain is going to come down. Now, this connects to and when the curtain comes down. But I didn't want to say and when the curtain comes down. I didn't want to just repeat this again. I've got the rain is going to come down just like it usually does. Now, I liked having I won't be quitting because, okay, so I want something that kind of goes with that, rhymes with that, because I'm using the same word because here and I'm using the same word because there for my third line. So the rain is going to come down just like it usually does. So, things are going to happen, bad stuff's going to happen just like it usually does, but I'll come out swimming. That expression, oh yeah, this happened, I came out swimming, or how did you do? I did swimmingly. Obviously swimming deals with the rain, so we got that connection, and just coming out of something, I came out swimming. I don't know if you know that expression, and then I repeat, my baby's counting on me. All right, so that drives home that idea that I've got to do this because, the family's counting on me, and, I've got the title there as well. And then we go on and stretch it a bit further, and then it says, I'll get it under control and get us over the hill. All right, that hill, that metaphorical hill where we're on top of our troubles. Once again, in terms of the rhyme scheme, we've got in the second line the last word, and in the third line the last word. This doesn't rhyme with this, though. All right, so let's see if we've done that in down here. I'll get it under control and get us over that hill. Things will get better, they will. So I am being consistent with that. That one obviously doesn't rhyme with that. You're going to like what you see. But of course, me and see will rhyme, and that will pull all of that together. What I did when I just showed you how the song went is I went back and I re-sang the first verse. I didn't know that I was going to do that. It just felt right at that point. I'm not necessarily saying I would do that. I might do that, and I might even, if I built that into the song, that you're going to go back and repeat verse 1, there's a chance that in here I would change some lyrics, even just so slightly, to advance the story just a little bit more. At this point, there was no guitar solo or anything. There could be a guitar solo, down here after this verse, perhaps, and then we go into another verse or a chorus, in which case I might repeat that and then go and do verse 5 and then the chorus. We'll have to see. So, again, the song is early on, but I don't know that other than this thing, which was really bothering me, I'm relatively happy with the rest of it. I will admit to you that I struggled a very long time over this, and that's how I always am with writing my song lyrics. This is not a deep story song. This is not a really poetic song. This did not take me a long time to write, for the most part. And you can probably imagine why. It's a simple little song. However, I end up spending a great deal of time on just a couple of lines, and I'll admit to you, I'm struggling over this, and I spent a lot of time here. I knew a lot of things that would rhyme with C and me and B and T and P and eternity and frivolously and all kinds of things, but I didn't have anything that I felt fit. I did not know what to do, and I came up with you're going to like what you see. I felt it was out of place for a long time, and it still might be, because I'm telling this story, from my personal point of view. I go to work to keep my family alive. Nobody's going to pat my back. There's no I'm not talking to a particular person, or it seems like I'm just generally telling a story. I go to work. I'm not saying it to, anyone in particular. My banker tells me, what are you saying that to your wife? You're just saying it to the world. I'm saying it to you guys. And then you're going to now it gets very personal. But I did say here, and get us over the hill, all right, meaning the family type thing, right? And then when I said things will get better, they will, you're going to like what you see. I felt that it was possible for me to say this and not be too far out of the character of the song, or that it would still make sense. But I don't know. You tell me. Does it work? Does it matter? Does anybody care? We'll see. All right. So that's what I've got so far for this. My intent would be to think about it for a little while and practice it a bit, decide if it needs a guitar solo or whatever. And once I feel confident about the song and I know it well enough, I would get to recording this, and I will, do whatever I can to film that and get into the audio editing, etc., etc. So, purpose of today's first video is to introduce the new series, Let's Write and Record Another Song, and to play for you the song, show you what song I'm going to be using for the series. So thank you for tuning in, and hope to see you next time.